Hello, my dear friends. My name is Harold, and welcome to the Sanctum. We shall be continuing the series on astrology and symbolism, as we've been just talking about the planets, the 7 traditional planets, and now we shall be looking at the next planet in the series, which is the planet Mercury, and its symbolism and practical function of its archetypal energy in our reality, within ourselves, in the microcosm, and within the macrocosm. So, the planet Mercury is also known as the messenger, the bridge between the heavens and the earth. Right? So, even if you look at the Greek depiction of Mercury, which is Hermes, as well as the Roman Mercury, wears shoes with little wings on it and holds the caduceus staff, which is a long rod with 2 serpents entangling around it. And right at the top is once again the 2 wings of Mercury, sort of like angelic wings. And Mercury also wears a hat with wings on it, because Mercury is the messenger, the one who can travel between the heavens and the earth. So, as Mercury is the bridge between the heavens and the earth, Mercury rules everything to do with travel, so motion from one place to another, displacement, as well as messaging, communication. Right? So communication as in the communication that takes place in our body. For example, our cells communicate with one another, but also we as human beings communicate with one another. So that is speech. So Mercury also rules speech, right, and the ability to communicate. Language, as well as commerce and business. So this is that sharing of energy that can take place through communication and trading, which is also a very mercurial aspect. That's why even the word merchant in English, it has the word merc in it, merchant, merc, M-E-R-C, which is Mercury. Right, so once again you can see that word being there. It's also associated with travel. That's why even the word Mercedes, which is a famous brand of car or automobile, has the word Merc in the front of it, Mercury, because it's associated with travel. Okay. Now Mercury is also the businessman or businesswoman, because Mercury is a master communicator and a master influencer, a master salesman or master saleswoman, because Mercury has mastered the use of the tongue. Right? So if we want to become more influential in nature, learn to become more eloquent in our speech, as well as learn to communicate better, be able to do business better, Mercury is the energy to work with, the energy to balance within ourselves. Okay. So Mercury is also associated with wisdom and knowledge, and all of those aspects are associated with learning, so books and all of that, because Mercury also rules the intellect and the intelligence. Right. So if you want to develop wisdom and you want to gather knowledge, Mercury is the planet to work with, is the archetypal energy to work with. And if we look at it astrologically speaking, the type of travel that we will undergo in our life will be, you can learn more about that depending on where Mercury is in our particular chart, as well as the type of business that we're good at or we might be engaging with, the type of the way that we communicate. All of this is ruled by Mercury. Right? So if you want to learn more about how we communicate, we can find out where our Mercury is in our chart. Yeah. So Mercury is the orator, the one who speaks, right, and can channel wisdom. Now, when Mercury is imbalanced within ourselves, we might have trouble communicating. We might have trouble expressing ourselves in a particular way. Um, so by rebalancing Mercury within ourselves, we can learn to communicate better, as well as be able to retain information better. So if you want to, so Mercury also, because it rules the business realm, it also rules, bringing clients to a business, bringing sales to a business. So if you've started a business and you want to increase the amount of sales and the amount of clients that you get into your business, you can work with that particular plan. We'll be learning about all of this later in terms of how you can actually use one of the energies of the planets and bring it into your life to enhance yourself or your life in a particular way. Yeah. So Mercury can be used to enhance a business, or to bring in more clients is a better word than enhance a business, because that's more Jupiterian in nature, to expand a business, but to bring more clients to a business. You can, Mercury is also known as the trickster, because just like every planet, a planet may have certain good qualities, but in the same way, it can have negative qualities as well. So with great amounts of intellect and the ability to speak and communicate very well, and a lot of knowledge, comes the ability to trick people, and influence people negatively. After all, if you think about it, if somebody has the ability to communicate really well, and a silver tongue, they can influence somebody, right? Or they can even trick someone. They can outsmart someone and thereby trick them. So in the same way, Mercury has this other side to it, which is a bit of a trickster, a bit of a jester, someone who plays tricks on one another, or pranks, as well as can miscommunicate, as well as influence another person to do something against their will. So those are also aspects that people use Mercury for, although I'm not advising that at all. That it's good to know that that is also one of the aspects of Mercury. That's the negative aspect of Mercury. So now, Mercury in our solar system, just like all the other planets, undergoes something called a retrograde. But the Mercury retrograde is one that is most commonly felt, within ourselves and in our lives, because it influences us very strongly. I'll talk about the Mercury retrograde and the idea of a retrograde in a different video. But it's very common that when Mercury is on retrograde, there's all sorts of delays and disruptions seem to take place in one's life. I'm sure I shall be talking about that a little bit later on a different video on retrogrades. I won't focus on that right now. But it's good to understand that this is the negative aspect of Mercury, right? But when we focus on the positive aspect of Mercury, we can become very influential, very expressive individuals who are able to communicate eloquently what we'd like to say. Okay, and if you want to be able to travel, let's say you want to go on a holiday to a particular place that you always wanted to travel to, the energies of Mercury can help you get there. Or let's say you're simply getting late and you want to ensure that everything aligns up just so that you get to your meeting on time because you're a little bit late. Mercury can be used for that. In fact, in a later video I shall be talking about how instantly I used or invoked the powers of Mercury to essentially get on to manifest almost instantly an impossible flight, that could otherwise never have taken place. And I'll talk about that in my video later on, the practical application of all of this knowledge when it comes to Mercury, right? So of course the zodiac sign that Mercury rules is Gemini, and the tarot card associated with Mercury is the Magician card, right? Which is of course the card that is associated with the magician, the one who is the bridge between the heavens and the earth, the messenger between the worlds, right? Which is Mercury. So this is where also, even if you look at it astronomically speaking, Mercury is the planet that's the fastest moving in our solar system. Right? It has a very quick orbit. It is able to go around the sun very quickly. Thereby, symbolically, even if you think about it, it's almost like a a messenger that moves very fast, taking all the messages from one planet to another and going all the way around and coming back. So even astronomically speaking, it's got that particular vibe to it, which is interesting. So I hope all of this makes sense. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.